Very cloudy, windy day today. The tree outside my window, sometimes it's still, a very light breeze blowing through it. Lately, in the last 3 days, it's been quite windy and cloudy. Some blue is trying to come through, but it's mostly gray and white. I was listening to Krishnamurti this morning. This is the second time I've listened to his book. And he said something about in order to be creation, or in order for creation to exist, destruction needs to happen. And I thought to myself, it's the same thing for people. In order to be creation, and in order to be the present moment, the destruction of the person must happen. And in order to truly be happy, the destruction of the person must happen. When I say the destruction of the person, I'm saying your conditioning, your memories, everything you thought you were, everything you think you are, your psychology, your past, all of it needs to be destroyed. The person you think you are, everything needs to completely be destroyed. And only then can you become the present moment. Only then thinking no longer exists. There's no thought. And once you take away conditioning and the psychology of who you were, fear and desire also go away. Because once you realize you're just creation in the present moment, you don't really fear dying. You don't really fear loss. You don't really desire much. When you become ravenous, and you need to eat. And you still experience cold. If you can get past the cold, if you can get past the hunger, those are the only things that our form really, really latches onto, hunger and feeling cold. That's why it's so hard to be present, or to really create or do when you're really cold. Cold and hunger. Mosquito bites you get used to. Ant bites as well. But cold and hunger, those are the two things that our forms, the human body just latches onto. All the rest of the fear and desire that are needed, they kind of slip away. once you become present, cold and hunger always will plague the human. They're always a source of great suffering and problems. The only way to truly develop love within, where you don't need people to love you anymore, where you don't desire people to love you anymore, and you're not afraid of people loving you anymore, and you're not afraid of what people think about you. The only way to get past all those things is to develop love within. And once you develop that love within, only then can you truly love the people around you. There's a lot of steps, there's a lot of ways to develop love within. Pretty much just wrote a 235-page book about it. There's many, many steps one can take to develop this love within. But the easiest, the quickest way is to dissolve the person, or as I was just mentioning, the destruction of the person, all the conditioning, the memories, the past, the psychology. So you are no longer a person anymore. You're just the present moment. And you're connected to everything. And then you have that love within you. Another way is to do things you're passionate about. But to not do those things you're passionate about to achieve anything. But to dissolve the self, not to enhance the self. To not do those things for an outcome, to not do those things to achieve anything, but just to do them because you love to do them. The third one is to eat really healthy food. Most of your happiness comes from your gut, so probiotics, Greek yogurt, they're very, very important. In the last 3 days, or on Friday and Saturday, I didn't eat very healthy because I was spending time with my family. And yesterday I felt like utter crap. It was very hard for me to be present. It was very hard for me to love people. It was very hard for me to be loving and listening to people. And I'm sure people around me caught that, because I was not very much so myself. And a lot of that has to do with me eating crap food on Friday and Saturday. And regardless of me getting 8 hours of sleep, I'm sure during those 8 hours of sleep, like my body was just trying to digest and do things with those awful foods that I ate. And they affected my mind, they affected my gut biome. And another way to develop that love within is through sleeping, 8 hours of sleep every night. Those four are very key. And there's a lot of other ones like time management, so you can be present, so you're not stressed and rushing around. Time management is very important. To not identify with anything, to not claim to be anyone. To not claim to be good at anything, or to not claim to be anyone, That's also very important, to develop that love within. So you're never defending yourself, you're not getting angry at others. All these things. But the only way to truly be happy, long-term happiness, develop love within and be in the present moment, is the complete destruction of the person. Gryffindor Quidditch rocks. Booyaka! So does Winnie the Pooh. So does coffee. Have fun, everybody. Peace out.